All right, let's just share one more thing. This is what I actually have been using ChatGPT for uh, a lot recently. I found in editing videos, it's been nice because so when I make videos, I like to make longer videos. Uh, I I just like long form as opposed to shorter context. I feel like I can explain more. It's just better. But I understand that people like things in small bites. So I don't have a problem with breaking up the things that I do in small bites. It's difficult though sometimes because I tend not to. I don't follow scripts, so I don't know where things are going to happen, and I sometimes don't remember parts of the conversation if the conversation's long enough. I've done podcasts over the past couple of years, and they go longer than the usual 20-minute, 30-minute, half hour. It's just a conversation that goes as long as it goes and takes us wherever it takes us. But with Adobe, I can get a transcript out. I know the time points on there. And then I can feed it over to ChatGPT and ask it, hey, I want to go ahead and cut this up into segments. Look at the timestamps. Tell me where like relevant things are happening, and then we'll cut that up. And then I can go back into Adobe. I know where the time markers are. Pick the time markers and make my selections, and then carve it up as I need to carve it up. Which sounds like a large process. It is. I mean, it's still a manual process that goes on. I don't have an automatic way to do these things. There's a physical element, a manual element that still exists. This makes it a lot less painful though, because now I don't have to scrub through to find everything, to find that exact point or whatever. ChatGPT has already told me, hey, these are the points you want to go to because I've asked it for it to give me those points. So here we go. This is the video that I just made about ChatGPT that I'm about to post to YouTube. But I wanted to go ahead and grab the transcript while I'm in here at the same time, so I can do that next step, which would be breaking it up. I don't know if I'm going to break up this video actually, but I did want to just share it with you. So if I go to text, and you could use any transcription tool. I happen to use Adobe. I pay for a subscription for that for a year, and it's worth it for me. So it's going to transcribe it, and then it's going to spit out. It was going to give me the option to export it as a CSV, CSV file, a text file, or as a transcript itself, a transcription file. I'm going to want a CSV file, or no, a text file. It doesn't matter. Whatever I get, I'm going to paste it over into ChatGPT. And actually, I might have one. Nah, I don't have it ready to go. But we'll let that go for. It's going to take a little bit because I think it says a 42-minute video. Yeah, it says estimated time 2 minutes. In creating the videos, like this has helped me a lot. Like I said, there's still manual steps to go into it, but I can keep track of everything a lot easier as well, because I can see this. Once I export it, I can see the timestamps and I know what's going on there. And where ChatGPT says, well, here you talked about this, that, or the other, I've got to make sure that I'm prompting it correctly too when I ask that question, because I might be looking for something specific to draw out of it. Maybe I have some ideas already that I know were topics that I wanted to bring in. I can just put that in the prompt, like find me the spot where I talk about X, or find me everything that I said that is related to something. So an example of that, and it's not something to do with text or anything, but when we talk about like related to something that can use in a broader text, I was interested in, or I'm always interested in, the relationship between things. And specifically right now where I'm starting a martial arts studio where I'm trying to build that community, I don't believe there are, if there are any, I don't believe there are many barriers to martial arts across demographics. I don't believe there's anything offensive in the way that I see martial arts practiced to any group, because it's, for me, really about discipline, respect for yourself, and then in relation to everybody around you. So if we're to talk about religious groups or whatever, a church or a temple or a mosque, the people that participate in those communities most likely wouldn't have any issue with studying martial arts as we practice it and study it at Mandala Sun. And those groups that I specifically laid out, religious groups, have their own martial art histories. They have their own forms of martial art, some more popular than others. So, where was I going with that? Oh, so in reaching out to the community and finding those relationships, I had done just kind of a test with it to say, I opened up, I have a Bible, I opened up a Bible, flipped it to a random thing, I pulled out Esther or something, I don't remember what it was specifically. I took a picture of it without looking to see what it was. I flipped open the page, took a picture of the Bible, uploaded the picture to ChatGPT. Again, didn't look at it. My prompt was, how does this relate to martial arts and what we teach at Mandala Sun? And it first gave me like one summary of the story and how it relates, which was pretty good. I mean, it, talked about perseverance or whatever it had talked about. And then I, prompted it some more and said, hey, give me, I said, I want to make a post a day about this for the next week. So give me different posts from different posts about this and how it relates to martial arts, and what subject it relates to, and give me a description, give me a title, give me whatever. So at the end of the prompt, which wasn't that long, maybe 3 or 4 sentences, I had 7 different posts with a title for the places that I'd need a title, or if I wanted to reference it, with a description, with a reference of whatever it was, and then maybe I'd ask for a quote to go along with it too, some martial arts related quote to go along with it, if I wanted to do that, and then it would include that as well. But the effort that went into putting that together and making that communication that I posted out on Twitter or X or whatever I put it out there. I think I did it on X. But that was done. Again, it didn't take a whole lot, and I actually just scheduled those posts through X or Instagram. I think it was Instagram. But in any case, I scheduled the posts and set it and forget it. And it took me not long, maybe 10, 20 minutes. For me, using AI it's a tightrope for me to walk, because I'm a creative person. I create things on my own. I've grown up as a creative person, and so I'm not hard pressed to create content. I don't need to rely on ChatGPT to do that. And for a little while, I feel like, or I felt like I was cheating. Like it was like, oh no, I'm having AI come up with this way to communicate with other people. I've talked myself out of that in a couple of different ways. First way I've talked myself out of it is understanding what it is I'm trying to do. Like, what's the intent of what I'm trying to do? My goal when I'm communicating to these people is not to learn to be the best communicator via social media. That's not my goal. My goal is to get people interested, get people attracted. So there's no difference between me going to ChatGPT and saying, hey ChatGPT, help me out with this, or me going to an advertising agency or a marketing group or a business consultant and asking the same thing. There's no difference. I take that back. There's probably you're probably you definitely are more involved with it by doing ChatGPT. I'm more involved with it by doing ChatGPT because I'm putting in the input and I'm instantly giving feedback and I'm taking care of it all right there. If I'm handing it off to an advertising group, consultant, marketing agency, then my hands are off of it. I mean, I'm sure there's collaboration that goes into play and there's customer input, but you're hiring them, or I would be hiring them in order to do the job for me, essentially. I don't really, if I'm handing it off to somebody, I don't want to handle it. Like that's what I'm paying somebody else to do. Here, I pay $25 a month, and I'm taking care of it myself. And I'm learning a lot as I go through it, because as you interact and as you're asking it questions, you're having it develop, you're getting a feel of, you're getting the examples of the proper way to do it. I would say are the best practices. And that's, especially if you ask in your prompts for best practices, I tend to be very specific in those things. Sometimes, you'll see some suggestions, advice for ChatGPT prompting. Some of the advice will be, let's say you're trying to do some ad copy for an accounting firm. So if I were trying to do ad copy for an accounting firm, at a time I would have entered, you are an accounting expert, and I would even be so specific as to say you are an accounting expert in southern Maine, and you know the accounting needs of a martial arts studio that caters to adults and doesn't have kids classes. And then I would ask, whatever it would need be asked. Like I would ask for whatever it is. But now I don't do that so much. Rather than do that, because I'm doing the same thing, if I just say, hey, this is what I want, and I'm very specific with it. So if I say, hey, I need ad copy to advertise a class at Mandala Sun Martial Arts, and we are a martial arts studio in southern Maine, Portland, Maine area. We cater to adults, and we don't have any kids classes, but we do have programs that are available to kids. So let's just play with it right here. Cool, we still got some time to wait, estimated a minute. All right. Let's do this. All right, so what was I saying? Okay, let's go back to my Mandala Sun one. I had it spelled wrong. So sometimes I use this Mandala Sun GPT just so that I can ask questions related to Mandala Sun, because I've got all the information in there that it pulls from. So, what was I saying? I wanted to generate ad copy for Sun to attract adults to a series of 8 events that will take place over the course of, let's say 3 weeks. Each event will be scored and prizes will be given for teams and individuals who participate. The events will be a mixture of physical, mental, and creative expression. All right, let's leave it at that. I think I've given it a fair enough of information. Let's say we want to incorporate, we want to emphasize a social experience that is unique to the Portland, Maine area. All right, that's enough. So part of the problem with ChatGPT for me is I tend to like start branching off and dreaming up these things that are far more complicated than I wanted to get in there with. Which isn't a problem at the end of the day, but it's a problem in the moment. All right, so this is spitting out. What do we got? Mandala Sun Martial Arts invites you to embark on an unforgettable 8-event series spanning 3 exciting weeks where physical prowess, mental agility, and creative spirit collide. Dive into a high-energy blend of martial arts challenges and unique team-building experience right here in Portland, Maine. Whether you're a seasoned martial artist or just curious to try something new, this event series is designed to bring people together, spark friendly competition, and build lasting connections. Why join? Exciting challenges and scoring. Compete individually and in teams across a variety of events. Each challenge will test your mind, body, and creativity with points awarded along the way. Prizes and recognition. Our scoring system rewards determination and excellence with unique prizes for top performers, whether you're in it to win it or solo or as a part of a team. Unmatched social experience. Connect with like-minded individuals in a supportive, vibrant community. This isn't just a fitness event. It's a chance to make new friends and experience the spirit of Portland, Maine. A full body, mind, and spirit workout. Our challenges incorporate everything from martial arts fundamentals and movement exercises to creative tasks, promoting both physical fitness and mental resilience. Don't miss out. Secure your spot, bring your friends, and get ready to challenge yourself and grow. With Mandala Sun, you're not just joining a fitness event, you're joining a community. Let's make Portland's winter season unforgettable, one challenge at a time. That is pretty cool. Portland's winter season unforgettable because of the season we are coming into. So ChatGPT, this is a good example of knowing. ChatGPT reads the room, so to speak. It knows what's going on in the context of what you put in for information and what the world is to its knowledge. So I could use that ad copy. I could go ahead and modify it however I want, but for coming up with an idea off the top of my head and saying, hey, just give me some ad copy, that's a perfect use for ChatGPT. I mean, you're drafting, you're brainstorming, you're creating things in the moment. It doesn't have to be your final product. It can be something that you can work off of. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can always, hey, can you give me an outline of bullet points that I can use to craft my own. So for that, and it'll say, sure, here's what you want, make your own. These are the things you need to cover. And I could go ahead and write about that. And if I wanted to do delegation in this part of it all, I could go ahead and, generate this, give it to somebody and say, hey, write this. Or if I'm delegating not necessarily to somebody within the organization, but if I wanted to go to Upwork, for example, this is what I want you to do right here. And I can just put that out. So that is that. This should be done. Yeah, so our transcript's done now, and I can export it. I'll export it to text file, and I'll bring it to my downloads, and I'll save it, and I'll go back to ChatGPT, and I will do it in here, that's fine. We'll attach this file. Actually, you know what? This might not work. I've tried attaching before. It didn't read right, so I just copied, excuse me, copied and pasted. So we'll see, because this is a long one. The video was 45 minutes long, so we will see. Here is a transcript of a video that I want to cut into, let's say 15 pieces, 15 segments. The segments can overlap. So by saying the segments can overlap, I am giving it the permission to, like, say I start talking about one thing, but then I start talking about another thing, but I stop talking about the first thing, and the other thing moves into another one. So if I want to keep both of those, it'll do that. I haven't seen it actually do that yet in the 3 or 4 times I've done it. It's usually just given me separate sections that were kind of stacked, which worked out great, actually. So I wasn't upset. They were good cuts, I believe so. But, see, the segments can't overlap. They should have a common they should include in the segment clip So let's see if the document breaks. Nope, looks good. There we go. So now we've got, I asked for 17. So let's see, one from 0 to 35 seconds, one from 35 seconds to minute 10 to 2 minutes. Yeah, so this is what I was talking about. It's stacking it. So it's not taking anything in between. 341 to 523, yeah. So it's basically just giving it chapters, which is fine. And then it goes through as to, you know, into each one. So you can see how it works too. Like, it's not even, well, I don't know, maybe it looked at the whole thing. It's about 45 minutes or so. It made it through the whole thing. I was going to say, I'm not sure how it was breaking it up, but we'll see. But anyway, from here, now I've got all the start times and end times. And what I do is come back into Adobe and I put in the start times. And so 0 to 35 seconds. So I just put in 35 seconds here, which I think is this one. Nope. Just kidding. I think I broke something down below. There, all right. So then I drop it at 35 and I can set my mark out, and then I can just drag that part of it. Well, I still want to export this, so but I can just drag that, let's drag the video over to it, and that's just a clip there. So then I can say, all right, so that was 0 to 35 seconds. So I've marked got my markers there, so then I can go into the second one, different perspectives on AI, 35 seconds to minute 10. So I got my 35 seconds already there, mark it as an in, and then I want to go to a minute 10. So just come over here, delete one, and that gets me there. Oops, that's not what I want to do. Mark out. And then I can do that and drag it here. And so you can see, like, I've got two different segments. Again, I'm about to export all this, so I don't want to delete it all. But I can just go through and I create the videos as I need to with those segments that way. And it's just a much faster way. I've done it before I learned how to do this approach. I was just kind of scrubbing through and trying to find, you know, I'd play and try to find the right spot as to where it was that I wanted to say something, and then I'd have to listen and make sure that I didn't accidentally miss a part of the clip. So that's how I do that, and that was my point. So I don't need to share anymore. Awesome. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you do this or have another method, please reach out to me. Let me know. I'd love to talk to you about how you do it. I'm trying to get better at video editing, content creation in general, just so that I understand what I'm doing and can put out better stuff than I did before. And I have been doing that. I feel like I've made a progression to what I've created, so hope this helps you in doing the same.